So Hal experiments with creatures and creates new things, and he's looking to exceed Tetra, and not even Bug has any idea what the hell that means.
So there's probably some story where Dynamis was an actual florist and she's telling the truth about having itchy legs and stuff, and then he went and spliced her with a fish.
Yeah, potentially.
I'm going to go with that.
I mean, it's a better story than anything else, I guess. Like,
well, the other story would be just he made her out of whatever, and she has no backstory, and she's still amazing, so it's okay.
Yeah, he made her out of clay, and with Dynamis he will play, or whatever.
What?
Dreidels.
Okay.
Sorry, that wasn't as funny as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I had no idea what you were talking about.
Okay, so I'm going to sidle up over here because these guys are going to come out, and then I'm going to just go ahead and pull back. Ah, fuck. I hate this one slope, because it's really hard to see it around the stuff in the foreground, and it just means that I wind up absolutely wrecked by just this one little slopey bit.
On the bright side, if you touch something physically when you're the same color as it, it doesn't hurt you. So you were bumping into them, and it wasn't mattering.
So I want to pull them to that way and then just open fire. And as long as you're not touching the center, you can get over here, and there is yet another shop over here. But I'm going to have to fight a bunch more guys. Whoa. Okay, here we go. Gotta get good angling on these dudes, because if you don't,
Did you start with that much health?
Rough, yeah.
Gosh.
Sometimes it'll refill your health, it's not always.
That's weird.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and
just inconsiderate, I guess.
A little bit. So this particular shop, by the way, does have another level 6 in it. This is where, if I wanted to, I could buy, and if I had the money, I do not. I could buy the level 6 of Angara.
We never used that, so I don't even remember how he works.
Has bullets that have an arc to them. They do not go very far, and when they hit the ground, they turn into proximity mines, which can actually be very useful, but is honestly kind of terrible overall.
We haven't explained why our guns are little dancing doll people.
I don't think that's ever really explained. They are called parasites, to my knowledge. I think that's the only name that I remember them ever being given. So now I'm going to touch the center and go through it. But they're literally just weird little people that attach themselves to you, and that's your gun.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Some of them are ducks, some of them are angels.
Yeah, one of them's a duck, one of them's an angel.
One of them's like a Grim Reaper.
Yeah, the Grim Reaper one looks really cool and is like
fucking
the
useless.
Worst. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be fun. You aren't going to be able to see it immediately, but there's a huge wheel spinning around behind me.
It was on screen for a second. There it is.
Yeah, at the top of the incline there, it will stop you from doing this. So I'm going to take the quicker of the two paths and actually got hit by it there. I didn't like that. So I'm going to go up, and then we're going to go up again. And then there's going to be another area where I'm going to have to do this again.
I like that there's a sign on the wall for it.
Yeah, just to let people know, hey, this is where we're doing that thing. You know the thing.
Up, up, up.
Go, and it should be up.
Up. I need to not do that. People are gonna hate me.
It's just gonna be annoying. Ah, hell. There we go. Like, timing the jumps is kind of weird in here.
There's some Angaras.
Yeah, there's some Angaras. They're like the top half of a snowman.
They're a bullet, like, literally.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, they turn into proximity mines when you shoot them around, too. Ay. Okay, so this is really awkward to trigger 100% of the time, but I'm going to try my best.
It feels like a lot of the stuff that went into this game was theoretical.
So this boss, if you don't figure it out, you can actually not run into him the entire time.
Can you just bypass
You can't
him?
leave this area. No, you could just be stuck in here with him for a while. You have to face away from him and sit that way for a couple seconds and then turn around. Which I guess the idea is, oh, well, you should see peaks of him here and there, but it's like, it's still fucking awful. I do appreciate a thing that he does, though.
Oh yeah, we've heard that name somewhere. Oh, the lizard, the beginning.
Yep. So Megiddo is the strongest of all silhouettes. And Hal is the strongest of all Mirage.
Okay.
So he says, hey, well, you know what, it's dangerous in here, let me give you something in case of emergency. This is really nice of them to do this before this boss, because this boss is, like, very, very easy compared to the next boss. And they do not give you a moment where you're able to do anything. So he hands you, it's either a health if you don't have as much health as you do spirit, or he'll hand you spirit if you have low spirit.
And then he turns into a
And then he turns into a boss, but thankfully this is not that difficult a boss. I'm speeding through the dialogue, I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Yeah.
I just realized.
Like, he had said that, oh, well, Mr. Megiddo gave him this castle, and he's not sure why, and he blacks out a lot, and then he turns into this.
Yeah, so...
Look at the animation of those claws. I love that.
Yeah, well, everything in here is also
covering
sprite. It's amazing sprites. But so long as the moon is here, he's a werewolf or whatever. So you just have to fight him and hope that he doesn't kill you. But honestly, like I said, this boss is not honestly all that difficult as long as you know his distance. And I clearly am not playing to his distance super well, but I'm not that bugged. And then it turns out, hey, he was cheating. That is not a real moon. I love the concept of werewolves that can change even if it's not a real moon.
Like if it's Krillin's head, it still works.
Yeah. Like with Dragon Ball, you've got like, the projection argument where you could just project a moon, or you could do the thing where you toss a ki blast up and it's close enough and Saiyans figured out how to do that or whatever.
And just the moon's already destroyed in that world too. Like
3 times.
Yeah, like Piccolo keeps killing the moon and cameras. He hates cameras.
Yeah.
Let's go!
He refuses to get a... Oh no, I don't have enough for health. Oh shoot.
You might be fine.
Okay, so you're going to notice that this happens an awful lot. If it's a guardian angel, it's a big Star of David. Versus if it's one of the other normal-ish enemies.
It's Zohar?
Yeah, if it's Zohar or anything like Zohar, you instead get a little star, like a pentagram instead. So I'm the destroyer who made his daddy angry. This character I really dislike.
I dislike the word daddy. It's
Yeah.
just gross in almost every context.
When I was a kid, I was incapable of beating this boss. This was the boss that ended every single run of this game that I went through. Every single one of them. And he, target within range has no attribute and therefore cannot be confirmed or attacked with either type of shot on initial contact. So the idea is that this guy does not have an attribute immediately. But, you know, if you give it some time, you might be able to figure out. So, gotta just use whatever I can.
And it makes sense for this thing to change attributes once it's been observed.
Yeah.
A barren, lonesome place stripped of a hope, faith,